a snippet of my life. That is me. I created that. That is some of my art. And this is me. One of the reasons why I even have a playlist on is because I don't care about this video being monetized. I just want to reach the right people. And I hope that whoever listens to this is the right people, right? And that's all that really matters to me. So, hi, my name is Nina, and honestly, this is a video diary from me to me. But the only way that it'll work is if I watch the videos. These videos, as much as it might be for someone else and it might resonate, Nina, Sabrina, I'm talking to you, my dear, my love, and you gotta watch these videos over again so that we're on the same page, that we're running by the same thing, and that these messages can find you when they're supposed to. Today, I had the most amazing day of writing and storytelling. I went to intro to screenwriting class, and there was only 5 of us. And we read our 1-page scripts, and I wrote mine on the lift to class. And it was just great to get that real-time feedback from my peers and to be applauded by professor and her to say, you're an amazing writer. Honestly, yo, I hold Avery to such a regard that it's like, I'm happy that she sees me as a good writer, because like, obviously that shit means something to me. And it's so beautiful. It's so freaking beautiful. And I saw her later this evening, and we were both happy to see each other, and she continued to put me in high regard, and other people continue to put me in high regard, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But I am just glad. And I realized how much love I have for writing. And I realized that the love that I have for writing is the love that I want to have for a partner. Writing feels so good. And even when it's difficult, it feels amazing and powerful and like a breath of fresh air. And I just want to do it all the time. And it makes me the happiest person in the world. And I remember being on the bus as I was riding back from a play that I just saw that was great. And I said, I want my love and relationships to feel like I write. And it's funny because when I was setting up my Hinge account, I don't do Hinge anymore. I don't do the dating apps anymore, unless God has a plan for me. I don't know. Because I did re-download it just to see who was on there, but nothing. I'm aware of why I deleted it in the first place. That's not what I want my story to be. But I remember one of the things that I first wrote was, I love my career. I love what I do. And it's something that I lead with because I have so much love and passion for it, and I want to be the best at that I can be at it, the best of the best at it. I'm just gonna say that. I want to be the best writer there is. I want to craft and weave stories that make you just feel like your world is being intruded on and you're in a different place. That's what I want people to feel when they read my work. And I was like, I love this so much, and I'm dedicated to becoming an even better writer, and I want the love in my life to feel like this. And that gave me so much clarity. And so now my aim, my promise to myself is to listen to that part of me that says, I want a love that feels like it's worth working on, and it feels like joy, and it feels like I want to keep doing it. That's the love that I want to feel, and it's my promise to myself to go after a love that makes me feel that way. We love Brianna Weiss on this side, and I realized that there's 101 essays, and I've probably read like 20 of them, and I actually read little reminder to myself, I actually read the same ones over and over again, so I've been challenging myself to read more of them. So it's essay 74, There's no such thing as letting go, there's just accepting what's already gone. So I'm going to read you this about 2.5 pages of an essay. All right, so listen up. All things are good. All things are ultimately designed to serve us. All things are good. I know what you're thinking. What the hell? That sounds like just another nonsensical platitude that you're trying to pass off as a truth that cannot possibly be true. But what is it that makes something bad? It's what we've decided or have been conditioned to believe isn't right. What makes a feeling bad? We have lots of feelings. Why are some good and some bad? Some show us that we're on the right path, and some show us how and when and where we need to redirect. How is the former better than the latter? Isn't the latter actually more important? Bad feelings become bad when we fight them. When instead of listening to ourselves, instead of permitting whatever feelings are going to transpire, even if they aren't necessarily comfortable, we fight them. The things that are meant to serve us and show us the parts of ourselves that need to be healed, or the places in our past where we need to take a turn, become bad. In the grand scheme of it all, good and bad are value assignments, and they're subjective. To a person, to a family, to a culture, to a country, to a nation, to a race, etc. What's right to one is wrong to another. What's good for someone is tragic for someone else. History isn't taught the same way in classrooms around the world. The second you realize you can define what good is in your life is the second you can start to free yourself. Because everything, even the hardest things to get over, can be good if we choose to see why they're present, what they need to show us. It's a rare thing to love somebody unconditionally. The very basis of love is finding someone who fills a set of preconceived conditions. When the object of our affection doesn't abide by them as we once thought they would, our feelings begin to falter. That's why the deepest relationships become the hardest. Someone feels an idea of what you wanted and needed, and then as soon as they don't, you're absolutely taken aback. You aren't doing what I think you're supposed to be doing, therefore, how could you do this to me? This isn't actually loving someone. And the key to getting over that kind of half-assed love is realizing that much of what we fight and fall apart over isn't a matter of whether or not we love someone as a being, as a person, as a presence in our lives, but how much we do or don't approve of what they do for us. We're finicky in that way. We say we want unconditional love and happiness, but we don't behave as though we do. We want love and happiness when we get something or someone. Why? Because it puts the responsibility of choosing happiness, working on it, and toward it on someone else. The first step in regaining your locus of control, your embodiment of self, is to permit all things. The first step in regarding your locus of control, the embodiment of self, is to permit all things. Allow the love, allow the loss, allow the ebb and flow. Don't harbor intention, just be. How quickly do even our deepest troubles fade away when we center ourselves on this? In the Tao, it says that softness is the equivalent of life. Bodies stiffen in death. Trees that harden are cut down. Therefore, hardness is death and softness is life. When our hearts harden, when parts of us are blocked and filled with unfiltered emotions, we're forced to break them. The trees are chopped, the bodies decay. Hardness can only exist for a time. The brain has a mechanism where it focuses on the most severe pain and blocks out all the others. It focuses on the hardest part and forces us to face it. Even though it feels like we're dulling all the other pains by focusing and concentrating on one, we're not. We're just furthering ourselves on the path of openness. There is no such thing as letting go. There's just accepting what's already gone. There's losing ourselves in the labyrinth of the illusion of control and finding joy in the chaos. Even when it's uncomfortable, it's not forever. It only remains as long as we hold on, as long as we fight, as long as we control, as long as we don't accept what's already gone. I'm a Pilot Jones. A lot of things come up for me when I read that. The second part, when she started talking about love, I was like, girl, what are we talking about? Because that really took me aback. But I didn't even notate on this. But it's that part where she says bad feelings become bad when we fight them. Bad feelings become bad when we fight them. Something that I've learned to do and I'm practicing to do is to let my feelings come and to feel them. There's somewhere else in this book where Brianna says that or some other writer says our fear is not pointing at us, but pointing us in a direction that we should go. Failure doesn't point at us, it points us in the direction that we're supposed to be going, right? And I forgot who wrote that. It probably was Brianna Weiss or someone else. But I picture it as literally a finger. A finger that sometimes when we fail, we think is pointing at us, saying, you're so bad, you didn't do good, this almighty finger that's just you suck, right? But the finger is not pointing at us, it's pointing us in a direction we should go. And if we just follow that finger and just realize, oh, it's not pointing at me, but maybe behind me, and saying, this is the next direction. And I think it's the same thing when it comes to feelings. That when we demonize certain feelings, like feeling sad and feeling depressed, and instead of letting ourselves feel them, it's pointing at us or just being this is how I feel, but really it's letting us know that something isn't aligning or something is aligning. I'm specifically thinking about a relationship that I'm currently, I hate to say it, a situationship. And all the things it's been making me feel. And a lot of them are unfavorable. But a big part of what I believe these feelings that are unfavorable are trying to say is, this isn't for you. But whenever I fight those emotions, because I know that they're telling me to do something, whenever I fight those emotions, it kind of feels worse, when I just know that my emotions are saying, baby girl, this is what you need to do. But once we fight them, it's okay, well, this is bad, but really it's just another way of it telling us something about ourselves. And even though the part about love threw me off a little bit, because it took me from out of nowhere, I realized that I am culprit of loving people not for who they are, but what they can do for me, or who they are to me, as in what value they add to my life. And I fully am not against seeing what value people add to your life, because I think I was a person who was a people pleaser and didn't think about the value people added to my lives, which was at a time very minimal to none. But loving someone truthfully for how they are, understanding that people are people and I can't make them be anything, and that loving the character that they are. I say character they're in my story, but loving who their character is. And if I can't love it or respect it or jive with it, then maybe it's not the most fertile ground for a friendship. Or maybe it just means that our friendship looks different than other friendships. But I'm going to continue to meditate on this, actually, and read this a couple more times, because I also love how she says that hardness is death and softness is life. Sometimes I feel the rigidity that I have is what gets me through the day, right? The stiffness, we're taught that, people who muscle it through and just keep pushing forward, those are the winners. But she says that hardness is a sign of death and decay. And softness is life. And I'm trying to teach myself that I can live a soft life. That I can live a life that isn't filled with anxiety and fear and fighting these emotions that are so clear and evident. And maybe uncovering why, I fall into these same patterns. And, as they say, like, patterns will repeat until, you just learn from them. But a part of me is saying, I want to learn so that I can grow. I've been in this stage, I've done this stage, I've contemplated this stage. I am now living in something that I know that I've outgrown, living in environments that are no longer fertile for me. So I wanted to read this and kind of let this word meditate for y'all and see what comes up for y'all. It's interesting because I had no notes on it. All of it was just like, this feels good. This feels like something I need to hear. Because I think even like as I write scholarship essays, it feels like I'm stiffening up with rigidity, and it's me realizing that I don't need to have that rigidity, that I can invite softness into my life. Sorry, I keep shaking the table. I can invite softness into my life, and I don't need to be as rigid, or if I do feel afraid or resistance or nervousness, then to let those feelings come and to not be so anti them, and to let those feelings be. But that's all I have for today. I've had an amazing day today. I truly have. I got to write today. I got to share my writing. I got to hear other people's writings. I got to see a play. I did my hair in this really cute way, and now I'm talking to my phone and putting my voice out there, which is a blessing and something that I'm just really grateful for. Thank you for listening to whoever is out there and listens to this. I'm Nina. I'm multiple things, but I think at the end of the day, I'm a student of life, man. I'm just out here doing what I'm doing, telling stories, learning, and hopefully connecting and building community with the people around me. So, fuck with a nigga. And feel free to like, subscribe, or share this video, but I hope it touches you in some way. And if it does, I'd love to know.